take a look at the next section, which is the experience section. In the experience section, it is important to list out all of the relevant experiences that you have, which includes any internships, paid or unpaid, as well as any full-time jobs. It is important to keep it relevant since if it is not, it would distract the reader from what you are trying to achieve. For example, if I had a summer internship as a fashion designer, but what I'm looking for now is a business analyst role, then having that internship of fashion design only distracts the interviewer from what you're trying to achieve, which is an offer letter for a business analyst role. So I would skip that from my LinkedIn profile as well as my resume. During your interview, if it comes up about what your hobbies are, or maybe something that you did in your last summer, or if they specifically ask what did you do in the 3 months that are not included in your profile, then you can mention I did this summer internship because I was interested in knowing more about it. By the end of it, I realized that is not my cup of tea, and what I really want to be is a business analyst. So it helped clarify my thoughts on what I wanted to be. That is a good way to include in your conversation about your past things that are not relevant and things that have been omitted from your profile. When you're listing out the different bullet points for your experiences, make sure to include everything about all the projects that you have done. Make sure to highlight all the different skills that make you who you are. For example, I have included a few bullet points that show leadership, another one that shows that I can hold a meeting, another that I can lead a team, and one more that I can collaborate with different stakeholders. And so all of these are skills, again, that I learned that a business analyst is supposed to have on their profile after looking at different job descriptions. And reading up the different job descriptions also helps me in my current role because I always know what to look out for. So even when I am having conversations with my manager, I try to include how I can learn these new skills that I am lacking, that my profile is lacking. So what you would do is to include different bullet points, making sure to highlight all of the skills that you would bring to that role. So that is the experience section. What LinkedIn does is inbuilt, it arranges everything in chronological order, which means that the most recent experience that you have, according to the date, would be at the top, and the ones that are the oldest would be at the bottom. The next section that we can take a look at is the education section. In the education section, I have listed out my master's as well as my bachelor's degree from BMSIT. What I have done in the education section is to include all the different projects that I did during that study period. I've also included the activities and societies that I was a part of. So activities can include if I've participated in any case competitions or if I have won something there. It could be that I'm a part of a club. I have led Women in Technology Club for a whole year. All of that would go in this section. Any projects that are education related, directly related to the course that I'm doing, would go in this description section and list it out as a project. Something that I have also added here is some media. This is just to make my profile interesting. So for someone who doesn't like a lot of text, they don't want to be reading everything that's on my profile, they can just click into this. They can see an image. They can see that some presentation that I have given. You can include PowerPoints, videos, anything that is relevant to that course. Same thing for your bachelor's degree. There wasn't a lot that I had done that I could include that was related to what I was looking for. So this is much shorter, and that's quite okay because during your bachelor's degree, you're really not certain about where you're going to. Probably after you have had another degree, like a master's degree, or if you have done your MBA, or if you went directly to your first job. After you have done that, you can come back and you can include some things that are relevant to the role that you look for. So for what I have done is to show that I like to excel and I had an internship again that is relevant to my profile, include projects, clubs that I was a part of, all of that would go again in the education section. Next, if you have any certifications, which I highly recommend, include them on your LinkedIn profile. One of the differences that I saw for having and not having a certification is the number of calls that I was receiving. I was looking to change my role and I was trying to move from a different region of the country to another region. And I realized that I wasn't getting calls and there really wasn't anything I could do other than to study and make my profile better. And this certainly helped. I saw that as soon as I got my first Salesforce certification, the number of calls increased and they certainly increased after I got my second one. What the certifications do is to plug in that you have information and knowledge that you did not receive during your education or during your first job or the previous job. So what it does is you can see there is nothing related to Salesforce that is present in my master's or my bachelor's or my first job here or my internship. But having that certification and knowing how valuable a certification is important too. So having a valuable certification like a Salesforce admin and advanced admin certification helped tell the recruiters that I am someone who does not hesitate from learning outside of the box and going out and learning on my own, even if it's not a part of my course or my day-to-day job. So I would definitely encourage people to go ahead and get certifications. The next section is volunteer experience. If you have any, include them. Any co-curriculars that you were doing. Another one is skills and endorsements. Earlier, I used to stress on people getting endorsed for their skills. I'm really not sure how much this section is looked at anymore. Earlier, it was important to get as many people to endorse you. I'm not sure how much this helps now. If you have people who can come to your profile, your friends, your peers who can come to your profile and endorse you for skills, that's great, but I wouldn't say you need to spend a lot of time on this section. I would say go ahead and get some recommendations. More than for getting recruited, I would say this is for your own sort of documentation. It allows you to get people from different parts of your life to come in and say things about you that others would like knowing. So go ahead and get people to give you a recommendation. One of the easiest ways that I have seen is to first give a recommendation and then ask that person to recommend you again. So you can ask for a recommendation right here through LinkedIn. You can also, if you know, depending on the kind of person they are, they may appreciate receiving a draft recommendation note from you, and then they are probably going to just tweak that a little bit, add some things, remove some things. So it just makes it easier for them so that they don't have to spend a lot of time in thinking. And you would definitely get recommendations faster. This is where I have included all of the courses that I did during my master's and anything else that is relevant to you, include that in this profile. So yeah, this is a basic rundown on everything to have on your LinkedIn profile in order to make it the best reflection of who you are.